back. Now, as we at the Huckabee Show continue our focus on the November midterm elections, we want to know what voters are saying about the real issues and what they are and what people think about them. We want to know what will drive them to the polls in November. Ami Horowitz is well known for his Ami on the Loose videos, where he asks people out on the streets of various cities all about their thoughts on different issues. So this week, we sent Ami right here in Nashville. We wanted to find out what people are really saying about the midterm elections.
I'm Ami Horowitz, and I'm here in Nashville, Tennessee, Music City, to find out what is animating people and driving them to the poll in the midterm elections. Let's find out. If you were to grade Biden 0 to 10, where would you put Joe Biden?
I'd give him about a 9.
I'd give him a 2.
Okay.
Well, he just got me $10,000 cut off our school bills, so I'll give him a couple points for that.
All right, fair enough.
Yeah.
What are the 3 major issues motivating you in this election?
Personal finance.
Democrats giving everything away to whoever wants it.
Donald Trump, Donald Trump, Donald Trump.
Really?
Homelessness.
The economy, Roe v. Wade, and climate change.
Are you better off, worse off, or the same from 2 years ago to today?
Worse. Very much worse, yeah.
We moved from Los Angeles. Couldn't afford it anymore.
Oh, yeah.
I think the answer is worse off because gas is like way higher.
Inflation, yeah.
Right.
Better.
And in what way?
Financially better. Emotionally better.
Okay. You know if you're going to vote for Republican Democrats in the general election 2024.
Well, I tell you what, if Trump's a candidate, I would not be voting for Republican.
Okay.
Hopefully we get Nikki Haley. Fingers crossed.
What about Mike Huckabee? Remember Governor Huckabee?
I would vote for Mike Huckabee in a heartbeat.
In a heartbeat, huh?
I do like him.
Straight off the streets of Nashville, please welcome back to the show, Ami Horowitz. So you've been out there on the streets of the city, right here in Nashville. Were you surprised at what people were telling you?
No, it's a pretty diverse crowd in Nashville, so I know you hear kind of both sides.
Yeah.
And it kind of stuck along the lines of what I've been seeing in the country generally, which is people who are certainly conservative, not big fans of Biden, no surprise there. But independents have really been disappointed in Biden's performance overall, and I think you saw that reflected in Nashville.
What is it that people feel when they say they're disappointed? Well,
you have really two suns in our political solar system that have gravitational political pull, right? And you have the one sun, the one gravitational center where people are just disgusted by Biden, unhappy with what he's done across the board when it comes to economics, when it comes to social policy, when it comes to foreign policy. And then you have this other gravitational center which is pulling the electorate, which is really an unhappiness and a failure on certain levels of Republicans of the last, it's a newer trend happening over the last few months.
Yeah.
We have had, I don't want to call it failures on our side, but trends that have gone against us. So first of all, when you look at the Senate, right, we have to win 3 out of 5. It looks like we're not going to do that. And there's a variety of reasons for that. We have, in the Senate, you have Raphael Warnock, who really has followed Biden's move, probably moving more left than Biden. People are disgusted by his policies, yet he's winning because we don't have a great candidate. Herschel Walker killed it on the gridiron, but he's destroying his chances for the Senate. And you have in Pennsylvania, you have John Fetterman is a terrible candidate.
Terrible candidate.
But Mehmet Oz can't gain any traction.
Why is that?
He's not, look, there is something to be said about people who understand politics and how to look, Trump was an anomaly, right? And and you can't really necessarily redo that with another person. He was a special candidate, right? That won in a special way. And I think if we're also being honest, I think that Dobbs and Roe v. Wade has really weighed heavily on Republican electoral chances. If you look at...
Yeah, I was going to say, I mean, there's just been such a dishonest rhetoric out there. I can see why people are angry, but it's because they've believed what the media has said, which is not true.
Well, the media has become an ally of the Democratic Party. They've become the talking points of the Democratic Party. There's no two ways about it. And we've seen it in the numbers. Before Dobbs, before Roe v. Wade is overturned, In the special elections in the House, Republicans won, and they outperformed by 2 points, better than expected.
Yeah.
Since then, there have been 4 special elections. Republicans have lost all 4. Democrats have outperformed their expectations by 9 points.
So their voters are more motivated because they think something has happened to them when it really hasn't. But, you know, I do worry about, and I say this publicly, so it's not something I'm just releasing. Republicans, I think, sometimes do a terrible job of not making the message really relevant to the guy sitting at the Waffle House. They make it very relevant to the person sitting in the corner office at the major corporation boardroom, but they've got to speak it to the language of the 4 guys sitting at a table at Waffle House at 10 o'clock in the morning having coffee.
We've not done a great job doing that. Yet the truth is, if you look at the data points, they're all in our favor. Right?
Yeah.
Look at inflation. Look at the economy. Look at the disaster in foreign policy. Look at the fact that we're having the social issues we're having in this country. And the tumult that we're seeing, we have not been selling it the right way, and we're seeing that in the electoral numbers, man. Look, we're gonna win the House. Chances are we're not going to win the Senate, and that's an important body of the government to have won.
Well, it's an important wake-up call, and I think we need to send you to Washington, have a sit-down with Kevin McCarthy and Mitch McConnell.
Let's go.
And some of the leaders up there, and tell them how it's playing out in the streets.
All right.
Ami, good to have you here. If you want to keep up with Ami Horowitz and check out his Ami on the Loose videos, if you go to Huckabee.tv, we'll connect you with links right to Ami.